It's funny that I related to Ariel so much as a child, but as an adult, I realize I'm a melody. I want to be where the sea creatures are. What's up, travelers? It's been a minute since I've said that, and now I'm back with a review for you. This format is going to be a bit different than I usually do. I had streamed the Little Mermaid game and gave my thoughts on there, but my nephew had been over and I had gotten pretty distracted with the little one. So now you get the gameplay and my voiceover instead. Normally, when I do reviews, I do the good, the bad, and my whole thoughts on the process. I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm just going to talk about the movie in general. As a self-proclaimed biggest Little Mermaid fan, and after seeing this movie 5 times in theaters, I feel like I'm more than qualified to just give my thoughts on a live-action remake. So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to break it down into 5 parts. I'm going to talk about the movie itself, then the acting, then the songs, the changing, and then the controversies. All the spoilers are ahead. Let's go. The movie. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you this was a great family fun time. This is a Disney movie. For better or for worse, it has the same beats as every other Disney film. Now, I know when the trailers came out, it bothered some, but it's not as dark as they say. There are plenty of scenes in which it could be much brighter, but it's still visually pleasing. I think the Ursula fight suffered the most in terms of looks. The CGI is terrible. They really need to go back to practical effects first and then add CGI in later. I don't know exactly what it is that was off about the swimming, but it just looked awkward, so awkward. Which in a movie where we're talking about mermaids, your swimming shouldn't be so awkward. Yes, Flounder does look awful, but Sebastian grows on you, and I think the way his eyes move to help with emoting. The acting! All the leads in this film understood their assignment. Bravo, cast. Halle embodies Ariel, not only with her singing voice, but her personality. She was absolutely perfect casting, and no one will tell me otherwise. Jonah, who I wasn't sure about at first, stole everyone's heart with that charm of his, and those dimples. And Melissa McCarthy, who honestly was my biggest concern in the casting choice, nailed it. She crushed it as Ursula. Is she going to be people's favorites? Not everybody's, but she did her due diligence. Diggs as Sebi was good. He got a few chuckles out of other people. Again, he did what he was supposed to, and if you're comparing it to the original, it's not going to match up, but it works with the live action. And although my baby boy Flounder got sidelined, I think when he was in the scenes, Jacob nailed him perfectly. I really do wish we got to see more of the sisters, but I digress. They cut some stuff to fill in some other stuff. Javier was alright. I don't think he brought the power to train as he should have, but it was passable. I really needed to feel the emotions after he realized what he had done and Ariel ran away. Just, what have I done? And we really didn't get it. And that's sad. And Jessica ate in every scene she was in. Granted, it's about 5-10 minutes of screen time, but oh, did she play Vanessa. And the 3 that played Grimsey, Lashana, and Rose, I love that they added those 3 characters. I thought that was cute. The Queen's character is freaking hilarious. The fact that she knows about sea creatures and realizing Ariel is a sea creature, hilarious. The song, and let's discuss the soundtrack, one of the most important things in a musical, of course. Part of Your World, the I Want song. So beautifully done. Halle was able to go big and bold without going overboard. The reprise hits the same, and that pop out of water scene when hitting that long note gets you right in the feels. Under the Sea was toned down a bit, and we lost the fun visuals of the fish playing the song. The scene was still shot wonderfully though. It's still a banger. Uncharted Waters is a new song added to the film, sung by Jonah. It's a cute song. The scene in which he sang it came off a bit awkward though. I feel like they didn't really know what to do with his character while singing. Poor Unfortunate Souls slaps. I have no criticisms about that rendition at all. For the First Time is another new added song, which went to Haley's Ariel. It's probably my new favorite song on the soundtrack. It's so good, and it gives more depth to Ariel being her fish out of water self and what she feels about land. Kiss the Girl was slowed down a bit, and I noticed that when I tried to sing along with it while I was in the movie. But the mood and the way they added in Eric figuring out Ariel's name, scene was adorable. Scuttlebutt is a fun and catchy new song that they gave to Scuttle, and the kids are gonna love it. I hated every second of it, and I don't think every film needs a rap. There's a reprise too after Ariel discovers Vanessa on land, and it breaks the heart. Listen, if you got emotional during the original, you're gonna get emotional during the second one when these songs start playing. The changes. Ariel being ginger instead of a redhead was for a reason. They wanted to use her full head of hair, and dyeing it Party City red can be extremely damaging, so they went with a color that was safer and matched her skin tone. There's a debate about whether or not they would have altered it digitally, and no, I don't think they could have, especially given how they couldn't even get swimming right. The sisters' names are changed to match the sea, and because of that, we lose Daughters of Triton, which is unfortunate. Sebastian is no longer a distinguished court composer, so we do lose some of the magic in the movie in that way, but not as a whole. In the original, when we first meet Eric and Grimsby, is talking about marriage, and Eric is agreeable, but he just had to find the right one. But in the live action, he just wants to explore uncharted waters and learn more about other people's cultures. Poor Unfortunate Soul removed the bit about the body language, and honestly, I didn't even notice on my first listen through the song. It took me playing the songs back to back to realize that had been taken out. They changed the way the contract was made, so no more haha, why didn't Ariel just write Eric? There's no writing involved, and it becomes a blood contract. They also added in a bit where Ariel gets her memory taken, so her falling in love with Eric is even more genuine. And I think that is also a callback to the original Hans Christian Andersen's version. There's more of an emphasis that Ariel is about the land and not just about Eric, taking out the whole line, "But Daddy, I love him," was probably for the best. Speaking of calling Triton Daddy, Ariel only calls him father in this film, and that was definitely a choice. The asking of consent line and kissing the girl does not take away from the flow of the song. It still works. If anything, it just sounds better that way. Removing of Le Poisson was a crime, and so was scaling Black Founder's screen time. Instead of the wedding, we now get an engagement party, and I do think that makes it a little bit better, because yes, just marrying people you did just meet does seem a little odd. And Ariel being the one to make the final blow, I feel like it's a better deal, because there's so many people who criticize the original of being Triton coming to save the day. And again, although that didn't happen in the original, now you literally have Ariel cleaning up her own mess. The scuttlebutt. I'm sorry, but I had to. Oh my god, Ariel's black. Yes, she is. There's always been a discussion about how roles should go to the best person, but whenever that person happens to have some melanin in them, then all of a sudden it's a problem. If you defended Scarlett Johansson and Ghost in the Shell, this should be no problem for you. Did the director see her first? Yes, but he at least made an attempt to see if anyone can jump the bar that Halle cast, and no one did. I'm not sure why everyone's upset about the lyric changes. No one said diddly squat when they did it in Aladdin. One removed sexist undertones and the other added consent. Why does that bother you? And be honest about it when you ask yourself this question. I said it once, I'll say it again. Ariel never traded her voice for her man. Eric was never the reason she left the sea. He was the catalyst. He was the sprinkles on top of a glorious swirled ice cream cone. Swirl. Was there focus on romance? Of course. Disney loves love story. Even in Frozen, where you can't marry a man you just met, Anna still got a man by the end of it. It's really sad, but also, these critiques only come at the expense of female-led Disney films. No, really, think about it. Tarzan got Kojak killed because he wanted to impress Jane. Aladdin got the genie kidnapped because he wanted to be with Jasmine. Milo left the land for the city of Atlantis, which is under the sea. And not a single one of these boys get dragged through hell and high water about how they're terrible characters. Only when they have a vagina do someone has a problem with them finding love at the end of a movie. Now, did all those takes lack nuance? Of course they did, but that's the point. Only certain Disney films get to have an in-depth analysis. Why? Honestly, we should do better at combating internal and external misogyny, because it's doing a number on our media literacy skills. The wrap-up. Now, is there valid criticism to have of this movie? Of course there is, but unfortunately it gets drowned out by all the bigots and trolls. Honestly, I think my favorite review of this movie comes from Tommy Ross, and he also has a bunch of other videos on the topic of Disney live action, and I think you should watch them as well as this, in case, because he also touches on some stuff that I have missed in my own review. I'm going to link his down below. Now, the movie is almost out on DVD and streaming services, so you missed it in theaters. Do not miss it online. I'm telling you, it's well worth its watch. Listen, I know you say you want new stories, but a lot of times people say that and they're speaking into the void because they don't actually go see the new IPs. But I'm telling you, there's a place for both remakes and new IPs. Now, this is going to address all my melanated content creators who say, don't be happy with sloppy seconds. Question, Where's your video on Strange World or on Soul? Are you talking about Wish and how we should go see that? Are you going to be doing a series review on Quasimodo, Disney's new African-inspired short series run? I know sometimes for this stuff the marketing is really bad, but you can't care that much if you're not looking for it yourself. The final wrap up on the film is that I know everyone thinks these are soulless cash grabs because not everything is going to translate well between mediums, but I'm telling you, you will still have fun watching this movie. Plus, you don't want to let the biggest win, do you? Do you? Watch the movie. I'm going to say later days, but I don't think this review lasted long enough for the gameplay to end. So, if you want to stay and watch me get to the end of this video game, feel free. If not, you can feel free to click off as well. Have a good one, guys.